My name is Abhilash. You missed it. Yeah, that's me. And I'm part of the workforce management team with Firstsource. I manage the service delivery for healthcare vertical. Also manage the workforce management strategic initiatives across the globe for WFM. And I have Yamini with me. She's my colleague. She's going to be assisting me with today's presentation. Right? Thank you. And how many of us believe in art of possible? Right? Most of us, right? As WFM professionals, we believe in art of possible. If someone says, no, this is not possible, we'll say, we are WFM professionals. Yes, it is possible. Whether it's possible or not, that's a second thing, right? But we believe, yes, it's possible. And we are looking at the concepts of AI, chat GPT, like Swapnil presented, good one. Um, I'm looking at the opportunity what we have with every company in terms of the basics. I believe WFM is a matrimony company, right? We look at matchmaking where we have demand and the supply, and we try to match it up, right? And the opportunity in hand with us to in today's world or with the kind of industry or the nature of clients, what we have is seasonality, right? Which takes us back to the staffing issues, correct? As a best practice, what we are following or what we have piloted in the last couple of months, I want to share that with you. Nothing innovative, but again, I just want to share this with you all, right? Uh, we call it First Flex. It's a staffing solution. It's an on-demand staffing solution, going with the trend from a traditional approach of staffing, where we have our regular employees. We're also venturing into having a part of on-demand staffing into our portfolio. How does it work? It works only when you have seasonality in your business, right? You cannot have X number of people staffed throughout the year because of the nature of your client, nature of their business, right? Agree? Yes. So what is in it for us as WFM professionals? What are we getting here? What are we looking into? What is the opportunity? So this is what we are looking into: the seasonality factor, the challenges with hiring, and the time that we take for scaling up and scaling down with respect to the business ramps and the business ramp downs. Right? This is the opportunity. This is not a challenge actually. This is an opportunity for us. Like yesterday, someone was mentioning. I think Raj was mentioning, until we have this challenge of demand and supply, we will continue to have our jobs. So yeah, going with that flow, yes, this is a opportunity that we have in our hand. And what I want to share is, this is going to be our some of the key factors that we're going to be talking today in terms of what is the solution that we have in our hand, and where does it fit in, what are the benefits of this solution, and probably we can at the end of it, probably we'll look at the industry trends also, right? Yeah, like I mentioned, it's just on-demand staffing solution, or the gig where the world is headed, right? Uh, so that is what we are looking into as First Flex. And these are the features of the First Flex platform, wherein it provides with the flexibility for the staffing solution, which is anywhere, anytime across the globe. And in terms of agility and scalability, and also to a certain extent to the cost standpoint also, which helps us in uh, adopting this concept into our regular staffing solution, right? Or the service offerings for our clients, or their clients as well. So where does it all fit in? Like I said, it fits in only when you have aberrations in your data points, right? Or when you have your overstaffing or understaffing situations, or when you have your seasonality, your weekends, special events, right? All these factors are the opportunities for having a on-demand staffing solution, right? So we piloted this with a peculiar client of us, very unique one, uh, one of the uh, telephony giants in the world. I don't want to name the client for obvious reasons. So the opportunity in hand was, this was a very special project, nothing to do with the regular BPO business what we are into, or the call center business we are into. It was more towards capturing small video clips uh, of 30 seconds, 1 minute, capturing audios, capturing text, capturing certain logos or symbols, right? So and totally offline, nothing to do with your regular business, totally offline. So this was an opportunity what we took up, and with respect to the regular business in terms of your tax enrollments or the healthcare enrollments for the insurance side of the world, this fits in completely well, because that 4 to 6 months of the time in the year, you don't have to have that entire workforce work for you for the rest of the year, right, for the 12 months, right? So they can fit in only during these certain special events or calendarized events in the year, right, and come in and cater to your staffing needs. And in terms of complexity, what you this solution can handle is anything very low key, very medium in nature, nothing complex. Complex involves a lot of rules and judgment, which I don't think it's a viable solution for any company to go in for, especially with gig, because you are putting your customers' data and your own company's reputation at stake there. So this solution will fit in only for some low key and complexity of the work, not for the complex ones like your mortgage processing or etc. Right? It doesn't fit in there. And the channels that we can support here is, like I said, the special one what I just mentioned. It's a back office one, which is totally offline. People used to manage with their phones on our from our platform, and with the regular contact channel, voice, non-voice, back office, email, chat, everything can be deployed. And among the few projects we have piloted, I'm also going to be sharing certain illustrations on one particular project for CX operations, right? Yeah, and how does this entire thing work in Firstsource from a applicability or execution standpoint? Let's look at that. There's going to be a small clip which is going to give a gist of how the entire operation works, right?
The gig economy is expanding 3x faster than the total US workforce. Gig workers are spread all over US and work from their own space. Both gig workers and Firstsource staffs connects to Firstsource Secure Data Center. Gig workers are now connected to the agent dashboard, where they log in and access all information, including announcements, schedules, shifts, and more. Agent dashboard connects the gig workers to the client data center and systems. From the client data center, it connects to the client's end customers. The client's customer may have requests, queries, or needs to update, upgrade, or buy products from the client. These customers could contact the client via SMS, WhatsApp, emails, or via phone. These communications are then routed to the client data center, which is then connected back to FSL data center. These are then routed to the gig workers and to Firstsource staff, who would then help resolve the requests.
Yeah, small storytelling about how the entire thing works with respect to operations, right, on the tech standpoint also. So that just gave a glimpse of it. And how the entire operating model works is, for this particular model to be successful, is you have to identify the project in hand in the first place. It could be for your existing client, for existing businesses, or for your existing client and new businesses, or any new client who are coming in through your referrals or through your engagement with the clients, for the new businesses which are coming in. And the projects can be as short as 15 days to about 6 months also, right? And this is how the entire model works out. You do the project identification, then you do your demand and supply management, wherein you identify what is your base staffing and what is the additional staffing that you require at some special times periods during your X number of intervals in the day or certain periods of the month during the year, right? We do that. Then we go ahead and enable. What is it actually you need to enable each of these gig components? First, you'll have to identify the agent pool, right? You have to empanel X number of people into your agent pool, do the skill taxonomy, try and see do they fit into your actual requirement or not, right? Basic stuff, but you have to do it. And you go about onboarding. How do you onboard? You post a position in your marketplace on the Firstflex platform. People are going to take a look, they're going to apply. the position could be for 50 members to be onboarded. There could be thousands of applicants who could be applying, but not everyone fits into the requirement, right? So you go ahead, do the scrutiny, do the shortlisting, then you have your cap dev or the cap dev capability development team enrolled into your work, who can go ahead and interview people and ensure that they fit into the requirement. Because once you get people into it, they cannot go about hampering your performance or the delivery to the end client, right? So we ensure that this process is taken very seriously. Then we go about providing the training. The training mode depends on the complexity of the business. Mostly we look at the low key processes or the medium key processes, and depending on that, the mode of training is decided, whether it's going to be a self learning or virtually led instruction training or a classroom training, right? So that is kind of decided. Then what we do is we go ahead and deploy the gig. We don't generally go ahead and do the full scale deployment. We generally monitor people during their OJT and assess if they need any support, if they need any tweaks to the model. And again, what we are famous for, the reporting and MIS, right? We do the SLA tracking, quality tracking, and the computation of their time that they have spent as gig providers, right? So this is how the end-to-end operating model is kind of outlined, and I just want to share this with you. And I also want to share how an agent is enabled here, and how he works or he or she works when they get empaneled or registered into gig solution, right? We just want to watch a small clip again.
Steve logged into his laptop. A job posting notification popped on his screen. He had a thought and started registering for the job post. He completes the registration successfully. Exact at 12 p.m., Steve logged in using the dongle he received and plugs it into his laptop. The dongle instantly transforms the agent's PC into a secure workstation. PCI compliant. Connects to a secure VPN. SWS disables the hard drive, printer, and peripheral ports. Does not allow Windows to run at the same time. All other applications are disabled. Agent completes and submits work at 4 o'clock. Agent receives a message notification on his phone. As per the work guidelines, he will receive his salary credited in few days.
So that is how it works for an agent, right? They get empaneled or they get enlisted, listed on our platform. They get to select what shifts or what time period they want to work in, depending upon the availability of schedules or projects. And projects will be listed, of course, with what is the prerequisites, what is the skill required, what is the payout for each of those projects, and the duration of the project. Right? Once they, you guys, witnessed how it all works for an agent, right? Once the work is completed, after certain time period, whatever calculation has to be done by, the MIS does that, and eventually they get paid out. And the technology involved here, you saw one USB stick is, kind of used, which generally is useful when a person is using their personal, laptops or desktops. What happens when you plug in this USB devices? This is strictly from a data security standpoint. It blocks out all the ports, access of Windows, and anything a person could access from his or her laptop or desktop. So it blocks out everything, even the camera, your USB ports, drives, the personal information, everything. So once the stick is off, it's back to your normal PC. So that's the transformation what the USB stick brings in, right? And looking at why you should go for First Flex, right? General norm for any gig is agility, your flexibility to staff anytime, anywhere, right? Uh, Cost aspect is a key one, but not an important, because your clients are getting that improved delivery in terms of higher utilization during that time period, right? Agent logged in for 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours, whatever, right? Their utilizations cannot be at, close to 100. But with gig, they may log in only for 2 hours, hour and a half, 4 hours, 3 hours, right? But their utilization or the occupancy is like higher. What happens with this is your, wait time for a customer with respect to CX operations, right? It comes down. There is a faster resolution of queries, right? Which which happens and results in what? Better better revenue, better CSAT, probably better client satisfaction, right? And we can move on. Yes, I've just tried to put across a crude rough calculation of about on the cost aspect. What could be the savings or the cost optimization? What we this solution can bring in from a cost standpoint. Only thing what uh, a company would be paying is only for the labor cost, which is the agent cost, and to an extent some part of technology, right? To enable the technology bit, there's some cost involved. Other than that, all your infra cost, training cost, any other SGA costs, everything is kind of wiped out. On the total direct cost, you can see anywhere between about 15 to 20% of cost optimization. I wouldn't say that as a saving. It would be a cost optimization, which might not be a direct saving, but then that is the uh, financial benefit what we have. And moving on, this is some of the current trending industry trends on the gig market, where everybody is headed towards gig, because more than 50% of the US market, right, currently they are gig workers. And even in our scenario, gig might not really be only BPO, right? Actual gig is all your platform based workers, like your Swiggy, Zomato, everything. And any special um, key projects, or the freelancers or the consultant, even they are gig workers. So mostly in entirety, the gig worker or the gig economy is headed towards larger number, probably 3x 4x in the coming years, right? So I just want to leave you all with this information and conclude my session. Thank you for being patient, and you all have a good day.
Yeah, one question I have is, first is the compliment that it's very comprehensive end-to-end framework.
Thank you.
Appears to be very secure and scalable,
Correct.
for the economies of scale.
Sure.
So definitely, looks like it is working very well.
Sure.
Yeah, my question is in terms of the geographical nuances, because
Right.
we have seen that people want more of secure jobs in India compared to the jobs which are pay per use and all that.
Yeah.
So because of that, you have seen some differences between the Indian workers in comparison with the American workers, and how successful it has been with the Indian workers. So that is
Yeah.
something.
Yes. Yes.
Hi, Saurabh here. So this is my team at Firstsource. I think a brilliant point, right? There is the nuances from the demographics and the geo perspective. Obviously, US and UK, there is. It's not that India, the gig platform or the gig workers are not prioritizing their personal time, but I have seen slightly a difference having worked there. Um, Obviously, there is a more established contract worker or contingent worker in the US and even UK, right? They choose to work on a part-time basis, and that's their preference. Here as well, post-COVID, we've seen that, right? The hybrid work has enabled that. And in India, you're absolutely right. People are looking for more stable and a full-time job. Where this is adding value is beyond that, right? So if there is a client, and that too a born digital company, which wants a particular database to be created, data annotation to be done, and I have some spare time on the weekends, or it's not time bound, right? It's not a real time voice call. That's where we've seen the uptake in India, right? So beyond the 8-9 hour shift that people are doing, it's of their passion. If it's of a particular bond digital company, I cannot name them, you can imagine. And these are the ones that are really leveraging these gig workers, right? Including us.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Saurav and team. Great presentation. My name is Nirmalia from Concentrix.
Hi, Nirmal.
So I saw that in terms of the payment to the gig workers, it is
Yeah.
by hours or by days they work?
Pay per use. It is basis the project. Sometimes if I have that it's this project requires pictures to be clicked of a certain type within the house or outside, obviously you may be spending 4 hours to reach the hill station and then click the photos. I'm not paying you for that effort. I'm paying you for the picture, and I already define it that I'm going to pay $50 per, final product output of that picture. So it's not about the effort; it's about the final
So
outcome.
productivity,
or product.
mainly productivity.
Yeah, so it's about that. So outcomes, basis outcomes, but it's not about the number of hours that you spend, because that is not the real purpose here, right? It's the outcome based, but it's a pay per use model,
Okay.
right? Like
Great.
he articulated that some projects may be a fixed duration, 15 days. I want this to be turned around, right? Yeah.
Good. My second question is I saw the comparison which you did on the direct cost and the SGA one.
Right.
One is that the recruitment cost is null into this gig,
Yeah.
right? So is it really null or you have
So
to
we've
have some?
developed a talent match platform.
Yeah.
So as and when, like he was explaining, that the resumes come in or people basis the skill taxonomy that we've created,
Yeah.
that platform does the intelligent matchmaking now. So it already, if there are 1,000 applicants like he was sharing for a 50 gig opportunity, 50 FTEs, it will automatically distill for me the top matches, right? Like, in Google,
Yeah.
100% match, etc., 78% match. Like that, we get a talent match.
So your recurring cost is not there. It's a one-time kind of an investment and it
Yeah.
filters out. Okay. Great, yeah. Thank you. Great presentation.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Rashmi here again. So my the subject is really interesting and very relevant. So that's very good. So my question is basically on the compliance and regulatory. Though everything here comes on a positive side, but only thing is a risk which comes with the gig kind of a working. So what's your plan on keeping a tab on the compliance and regulations part?
So when you say compliance and regulations from a client perspective or the labor perspective,
Um,
or both?
My question was basically on the client and our process related.
Absolutely. And that was where the PCI, the platform that we are leveraging, the USB device, and even a browser based also, actually enables you, like in a secure Citrix environment, you only are able to access the application for the client for that duration of the shift or 2 hours that you're working. It is controlled, and that device enables that, right? I think a lot of firms are already using them right now. I can't name the vendor, but yeah, it's a vendor-driven platform, even the browser-based as well. So it's absolutely secure. We tested it with the client, and that's when we rolled it out. It took us a while, to develop that capability and convince the clients as well. From a labor perspective, you are absolutely right. We have to understand the geo-based requirements that we are compliant, whether it's in some countries, they allow even students to work, right? Now, which time zone, what time frame are they working during the college, outside their college, what kind of projects? We have to understand that. Those are the nuances which every firm deals with, right, when you onboard. So there is some checks and balances that we have to do from the labor perspective, but from the client perspective, we get the security team from our side as well as from the client side, information risk management, to actually endorse it before we enable the gig.
Right. And the second question is on the financials part. So basically on this, will the rate card be at a hourly level?
For the client, you mean?
Yeah, like for
It depends
our
on the
business.
type of projects. If it's a fixed project, like I said, some artifacts, some widgets to be created, maybe 200 widgets to be created in 30 days. So I open it up. So it's just about turning, and again, this is not the regular BPO work. It's about the widgets. It's not about claims management. It's not really the regular BPO work that you are anyways getting done out of 9 hours. and you can do an OT and get it completed. This is a niche that we are carving out because we tried to dabble with all those nuances. To answer your point, it can be project based, it can be widget based, or it can be hourly based as well. But we want to stay away from the input metrics of the side of the house, right? I may be investing 4 hours, but then the productive hours kind of debate comes in, right? Out of the 4 hours, you are only productive for 2 hours or whatever, the log in, log out. I don't want to get into that debate. Actually, the client systems can monitor that as well, right? Our systems as well as the client systems can enable that view. But the rate card, to your point, is very flexible depending on the type of projects.
Thanks.
And just adding on to that, from a compliance and regulatory standpoint, the whole purpose of identifying or deploying a gig is only for the low, complexity work where there is no PHI or PI or customer, information which is getting out. So that is the key.
Hi, Swapnil here. Hi, guys.
Hi, Swapnil.
As always, very vibrant presentation.
Thank you.
I was very keen on understanding the USB concept, right?
Yeah.
So 2 questions I have is, who bears the cost or who owns it? Like, does the employee kind of pays for it, or does the client pay for it? Because it's finally an hardware that goes out, right?
Pay per use. So that's why, obviously, a brilliant point. I don't want to burden the gig worker.
Understood. Yeah.
Right? So it's our cost. It's a cost of enabling that.
Okay.
That's why he had that in that.
Yeah,
there's
I
a minimal
kind
IT
of saw
cost.
that. Right.
Yeah, there's a minimal
And
IT.
as an option to that USB, have you guys thought of any proctoring tool that are available in the market,
So the
which can
proctoring
also
tool-
work accordingly? Sorry.
No, absolutely. We actually have in our ecosystem, as part of our tech stack, a proctoring tool, that we use within Firstsource. But here, it's not as much about the monitoring or the proctoring. So, but the other thing is, can somebody do print screen? Can somebody do alt tab and copy the data?
Yeah.
So that proctoring can do screen capture, etc. Cannot prevent it. So this is on the prevention side. We want to stay away from that post facto analysis of proctoring to say, so many alerts came, the camera was used, or the mobile phone was being,
Agree.
used to copy, etc.
If you guys don't mind, I would want to have a detailed discussion with you after this
Absolutely.
session.
Sure,
yeah?
sure.
Thanks. Good one.
Thank you.
Can I go?
1, 2, 3. Yes. Hi, Jay.
Hi.
How are you guys? What is the level of deployment that you have done? Is this essentially creating a different division within Firstsource, or is this kind of ancillary add-on to your core services?
Add-on.
Add-on. Okay. And what is the stakeholder sentiment, right? How far you guys are into having this fully deployed? To what level?
So we launched it. So we spent about 6 to 8 months to develop all of these ring fence from a legal compliance perspective. We launched it 2 months back. You will see some marketing blitz and all of that coming. The pilots we've done with a few areas. Again, like he was describing, the idea is to carve out that level 1, level 1.5 from the call drivers, from the back office, that you can give to a gig, right? So that's where the puzzle is. And we have to work with our client, right? We are being very transparent with the clients, what we are doing, right? And they are also kicked about it. So to answer your question, it's nascent, but I would say we are confident. What we've seen, the initial, results, we are very confident that it will become a major play on the BPO side, right? IT side, it's already happening, right? Like you are all aware.
And as you guys kind of think about this, do you see this materializing as a kind of a cold offerings you'll do outside of your existing business, or primary focus is on your existing business now?
No, absolutely. We are going out. So like he said, existing client, existing business is the sweet spot to pilot and experiment, right? All innovation, if you go and try and convince a new client who doesn't know you, is very difficult. So we are doing it with existing clients, and now we are offering to new clients as well. That's what I said, in the last 2 months, we've gained that confidence after working on it for 6 months to launch it. we are confident of bringing new clients as well. And that's where the born digital firms need it as well, because they are the ones who needed their database to be updated. You know, I'm bound by NDA, I can't share too many things, but they are the ones who say, you know, in the next 30 days, this is what I need to be done. And there is no way, and it's a fixed, you know, I need so many artifacts to be created in the next 30 days. I can't hire and let go of people, right? That's not the fair practice, employment practice. So that's where I'm leveraging gig.
Hi, Saurabh. This is, sorry, Jay, you had further questions or?
Thank you.
Hi, this is
Hi.
Yogesh here from NICE. Great
Hi, Yogesh.
presentation, by the way.
Thank you.
Quick question on the WFM piece. So, are you also doing the forecasting for each of these clients and then mapping it back to the requirements with respect to the gig workers? Or, I mean, is that process in place or it's still?
Absolutely. So with the existing clients, that's what I was saying, that we are carving out basis the call drivers and the forecasting for those calls specifically that we are putting there, and which shift, which time zone, etc. So we are leveraging.
Excellent. So, have you come across the non-traditional channels? Because the voice, chat, email, back office, it's all there. But
Yeah.
I believe nowadays is a time for these different kind of asynchronous
Yes.
messaging and
Yes.
stuff like that. So,
Yes.
are you experiencing that kind of, because the US economy
Yes.
always is on the lookout for these new innovative channels,
Absolutely.
right? So,
Absolutely.
are you facing any such things, and how are you actually taking care of those in your forecasting models? Just wanted to ask that.
How we're taking care in the forecasting. So the asynchronous is always slightly more difficult, right? Because it's pulled,
Exactly.
you know, suddenly, and it's an omni-channel. Suddenly the person wants to talk, and the outbound has to be enabled, etc. There we are being careful, to be very honest, because of the client experience. I don't want to start the asynchronous with the gig, because I need to have the availability and the forecasting in place for the agents to be available for that omni-channel support. So I'm being very careful if you're asking from a gig perspective for the asynchronous bit.
Yeah, because that kind of channel is going to grow.
Correct.
Especially in the gig economy, it's going
Yeah.
to grow a lot, because that's how the gig workers would like to communicate. I mean, they wouldn't have
Yeah.
voice or any other channel, maybe WhatsApp or something, these kind of channels which will grow to a certain
Absolutely. Absolutely with you.
extent. Thanks.
Okay, probably I'm the last one for today.
Hi.
On-demand workforce. Thank you for sharing. Good presentation. A couple of questions. Data security we already answered. It's for basic
Sure.
type of questions, right? So, okay. The second one is on the quality. This is personally for myself. So 2 months you said. Are you seeing a difference, or did you compare it with the Delbatched or outsource quality CE with the gig employees? One. And number two, I wouldn't say attrition, or I don't know what metric you have, you know, because there is no bond, there is no connect, right? So what is the attrition percentage or the adherence that you have given a task, the guy was able to manage, one. And two is the quality, because these guys they're individuals, they're located anywhere,
Yeah.
right? So the amount of costs that you fund for the frontline support, are you putting the pressure on the business?
So I'll answer it in two steps, right? First is, like I said, I am identifying the level 1 calls and the drivers, which is simple. So if in the BPO business you are able to stratify the simple, medium, complex tasks for each and every call or back office, if you are able to do that, the simple tasks is what I am leveraging the gig for. So by definition, I'm not going into the complex tasks where I'm confident that such work can be delivered with minimal supervision, because like you rightly said, they are a hybrid workforce. They are sitting anywhere, right? So do I see a difference? It is the same, the quality gates that you use for the agents. If the moment you start training people on the client specific SOPs and the training, there is a learning curve. So it is no different for a gig worker. In fact, what we want people to enroll is not to do the pre-process and process training, or 50% of the process training. They are already aware. They already know about this domain or what is the call driver. Those are the gig workers that we down select. So to your point, I am filtering those. I'm not hiring freshers, to answer your question, right? So within the pyramid, I'm stratifying. I'm saying these are the call drivers. I don't want to look at freshers, absolute freshers. I want to look at people who know about this domain, right? If I'm working, say, for example, hypothetically, a mortgage client. So unless and until they are aware of this, I'm not going to spend time on training him about the mortgage industry, etc., etc. That's where the stratification happens. But yes, the quality gates are there because our clients are obviously looking for TAT and accuracy, right? Those are the two KPIs. From that perspective, yes, if there is a requirement for our PE team or the QA/QC team to get involved, which they do get involved anyways for our regular work, so this monitoring is in place. And when you train anybody on a client-specific SOP, there is a learning curve, right? So that it's no different. I mean, COVID has enabled the hybrid working. So you, for all practical purposes, there is a gig worker working for a specific duration of 2, 3, 4, 5 hours, and versus the 9 hours that you had people working during the COVID from anywhere.
Hi.
Thank you. The only challenge is, the learning curve. We won't have the gig. It'll be a new person. The learning curve, the investment, all that is for Del Badge and, contract employee or a partner. But gig, today you have a person, tomorrow it's a new person. Something that you may want to watch for.
Absolutely with you. There is a leap of faith, both for us as well as our clients. I am 100% with you. There is a leap of faith. That's where we have taken time to launch it.
Hi.
Yes.
Sorry.
Hi, this is Prakash from Wipro. I
Hi,
have
Prakash.
two questions. One, in your experience, what has been the demand and supply? Like for X volume of work, whether 1x, 2x, 0.5x number of people come and quote for the to take up the work, number one. Number two is in terms of, I think I will ask that one later.
Okay. So in terms of the demand, again, Prakash, it has varied by project. For the simple ones, open enrollments or some of these L1 drivers, I can get people. Just like the supply side for, see, it's the same set of workforce that you're dealing with, just that the geodynamics have a play there, right? Within US, UK, they don't want to work more than 2, 3, 4 hours, right? Whatever their personal situation may be, right? So I try and get more because I need to commit to a certain number. Like I said, 10 FTEs, I can have 25 gig workers. So 2.5x. But then there is the next generation, which you and I are dealing with. And this is hypothetical scenario. For example, on Samsung devices or Xbox, when we take an Xbox example. On Xbox, perhaps I am not as efficient. My son is. He knows the nuances and he can do the troubleshooting much better. Now, it's a very niche requirement. How will I get people enrolled of that student population or that 19, 20-year-olds who are proficient with an Xbox to do that troubleshooting? So I came across a partner actually who is able to support such product related. So it all depends on the nature of business. So if it's product specific, then it's slightly difficult. It's very niche area. But for the generic skill set, the L1 call drivers that we were explaining, fairly easy.
Yeah, in fact, second point was that depending on the nature of the project or the work that is to be done, how are you able to reach to the target audience? Is it a generic platform that you use where you post the challenges, or people have to come to something specific to Firstsource and then look for whether is there anything for me today?
No, absolutely. So that's the last mile connectivity to how to channelize the traffic to us. We have empaneled some partners to start with, but eventually that's the end goal, right? I mean, I know Wipro has that top coder, and so you acquired that platform and you went ahead with, a database ready, this thing. We have not gone that side. We've empaneled partners for now, and we're working with them till we are confident of attracting that traffic directly to our website, right? And empaneled directly.
Thank you.